let's move on to some slightly more fun news. Blake Griffin to the Nets. It's official. You know, as a person who's clairvoyant, I tweeted this from the Traveling Hoopers account like 4 days before it actually happened, just because why not? Why would a big man in their prime? Why? That's just not how the Nets work. Yeah, here you got Lob City back at the age of what, like combined age of 74.
Why are you doing them like that?
Cause it's true. Like there's like I don't exactly know if DeAndre Jordan is battling like injuries or like did prior to his time with the Nets, but Blake is banged up, and I'm not sure outside of like the 15 points that Blake gives you. Why? Is it because he's just another 6'9" body?
That's the thing. Like especially with like how he's my understanding of like how he's played recently. Like I haven't just seen games or whatever. Just like he doesn't seem like the answer to any of your problems, right? He might have been like 2 or 3 years ago, right? But he's not right now. Like, and maybe there's just injuries or something. I'm not entirely sure personally, but like he's whatever it is y'all need from him. He can't give it to you at this point because what y'all need for real is like defense down there, and like he's not gonna like one. He's never been like a shot blocker like that.
Exactly.
Like for one, but also like he doesn't have the hops he used to have. He doesn't have the explosiveness. Like so, like a lot of that stuff he could have given you, he can't really. Now, like he can shoot now. He's more skilled. Sadly, like he didn't like the athleticism isn't there. Otherwise, like a monster. But like I'm not really sure why this was considered. Not even so much why they thought it was a good idea, but just like why they would bother to do it.
The only thing I can think of at this point is you're shoring up your bench, and this is the beginning of like a long-term plan. Because if Blake Griffin is still giving you 15 points, let's say about 5 to 8 boards a game, that is still a very viable NBA player at this point. If we got you coming off the bench, maybe better than most backup 4s or 5s. And then we go death lineup, which is funny because I feel like adding Blake Griffin to the lineup where it is the big three, Harden, Kyrie, KD, and whoever they pretend is their center. And
I thought the next dude up would be Joe Harris at this point. Not because he's like a center or anything, just because like if you're a death line, like he's knocking down everything.
See, if we go a death lineup with those 5 people, offensively, everybody can shoot, everybody can space the floor. Defensively, that might be one of the harder lineups I've ever like seen. Like I know where we're going, but there's like almost 3 non-defenders on the court at that point.
Question: does Joe Harris play defense?
Joe Harris plays defense as much as like a 3-and-D dude plays defense. And I'm not talking about like elite 3-and-D. Like he's here because of 3. He'll play a little bit of D, but he's here because.
So before we get to like whoever that 4th dude is, out of the 4 dude, I mean, out of who the 5th dude is, out of 4 dudes, you have like 1.5 mediocre defenders.
Mm-hmm.
That's not encouraging at all. Actually,
it's not. It's not. It's not. They keep getting better offensively. Yeah, unless they get like a bunch of JaVale McGee type guys next year, the Nets are fun to watch because they score.
Yeah.
they're going to be fun to watch now going forward because they have Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan. And just thinking of things from a karmic spectrum, you got two of the most disrespectful dunkers that we've had in the past decade. There's no way we escape the season without them both on posters, right? Or at least one of them.
It would.
They're old, they're slow, they don't rotate well. There's no way we don't end up with one of them on a poster.
You're probably right, but like my money would be on Jordan first, like just because he's more likely to be like just chilling around the rim somewhere to get his feelings hurt.
Yeah, he'll jump too. I don't think Blake jumping no more. I think Blake is thinking about it. He'll look at you, but he ain't actually gonna throw his body up there.
Right. But they so like I've noticed like they've made a bunch of moves, but none of them really seem to solve the problem. Well, it's like they're like, all right, we need defense. You go and get Amon Shumpert and Andre Roberson. Roberson hasn't played in the league in years. Shumpert, I don't even know what he does at this point, except like commercials and cheers on his wife, which that's wonderful. But like, I'm like for real though. It's just like he hasn't been in the league in a minute either, and it's just like, and like I don't think they've even played. I don't think they've seen the floor either.
I think whatchamacallit has seen the floor. Amon Shumpert? He's seen the floor. Mm-hmm. I don't think Roberson has played yet. And if we're just talking about bringing in people for defense, stop bringing in guards. Like, it doesn't make a ton of sense. Like, your issue is that you don't have a single big man, and I guess that's not something you're worried about. But you should be. Like that's what you need to be worried about in the East. You have the best tandem of wing players. You got the best trio of wing players. Where like even if you guys are absolutely awful on defense, like everybody gives you 20. That's fine because you can just outscore them. Now, can DeAndre Jordan outscore his matchup? Nah. Blake Griffin? We'll see. Reggie Perry?
Isn't he like a rookie too?
I assume. I don't know. I just know he's 6'8". He's 6'8". He's supposed to be the center. Nah. I'd rather see them put Green at the center. Somebody. Uncle Jack.
Yeah, Perry's a rookie. Like, even if he's a good rookie, he's not about to do much for you.
Yeah, and I think Claxton is their other center, and he's, if not a rookie, he's like a second-year player, which is the same thing, at least for like a big man of his caliber right now. It's, the Brooklyn Nets have done a really good job of guiding the conversation around the Brooklyn Nets because they have given us one thing to talk about, and that's how bad their defense is going to be. Like we don't hear about people. I mean, outside of Kyrie, but that's besides the point. It's not like we hear anything about like their coaching is bad. It's always just that defense, and that's like a personnel issue. And looking at their books, I think we looked last week. That's not gonna change next season. Like,
they don't really got the room like that. In fairness, but like they might be able to convince some dude to sign well below his value in free agency, maybe to come and get a chip.
Calvin, this has to be 1 year deal. Like,
oh yeah,
I think they're spending more money next season with less people on their roster as of now than they are this season.
God.
They go get
and they traded their future away to get Harden. So it's not like they can get a warm body in the draft either.
Bro, I'm telling you, they gonna have to go get JaVale McGee, Festus Ezeli. Come on. Actually, Looney's probably gonna ask for too much money. Yeah, they better be looking at these big men in the G League at this point, because I'm confused. But hey, Blake Griffin, right? New scenery. I'm glad to see that he's not in Detroit anymore. I've missed watching Blake Griffin play basketball a little bit. It's been too long. Once again, I found a way to blame the Clippers for this.
Wait, how do you blame the Clippers for this?
I would still be watching Blake Griffin on TV, on national TV, if he was still with the Clippers. I would not be watching them win. I would also not be seeing Kawhi or PG there, but I would see them on national TV.
Fair enough. Once again, Calvin McGowan, hope you enjoyed yourself. If you are watching on YouTube, like, share, subscribe, leave something in the comments. You can also listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. If you made it this far, once again, thank you. I hope you got a lot done of whatever it was you were working on while listening to this. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your day.